Hey, Bill.
Hey, how are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
I didn't hear from you after I sent over the amendment. I was hoping that there wasn't going to be too many edits.
I didn't make any edits.
Good afternoon or good evening.
Hey, Art.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
I can hear you, Catherine.
Great.
I can also hear you, Catherine.
I'm here, Catherine. I can hear you.
I can hear you, Catherine. Loud and clear.
Okay.
Still
Hi,
trying
Janet.
to get everybody on, so stand by.
Okay.
Do we have Chris and Lewis?
Chris Rocco, are you there?
I think Chris was running a little bit late today.
You have the Friday blues? What do you?
Oh, sorry. Shoot. I think Chris was running a little bit late today because of the conference.
Could I ask who's calling in on 512-3000 or 300-8781?
That's me, Bill. That's Linda Bob.
All right.
Linda.
There we go.
Is that you? Are you there too?
Lewis, are you in Alaska with the Northern Lights?
Yeah, long distance.
I like when you have your regular background.
Okay. Here and what is this? There we go.
Chris, are you there?
I am here.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
So, Catherine, we have all the directors. We
Okay.
also have Michael Willett from Touchstone.
Okay.
Is on the call. Robert Heath is on the call, Attorney Robert Heath.
Okay.
And then we have residents David Flores, Linda Fobb, Beth Jones, Sarah Teal. And then from Infomark, we have Lee, Mackenzie, Christie.
Okay. So since we're all here,
And Jimmy Sagnus is on the line too.
okay, good. So
I have
Jimmy,
I have a
Jim-
question.
Sure.
We have David on video. I thought that the public called in on, would call in only. Bill?
Louis, that's the information on the agenda. However, I think that if you know it's a Zoom call, you can use those codes to come in on video.
Okay.
Say that again. If it's a Zoom call, what?
If you know we're having a Zoom meeting, you can use the codes from the agenda to go through the video program.
Okay, then that means that Linda Fobb would probably like to do that, and also
Sarah?
Sarah's not on. So we and our practice has not been to admit the public through the video system.
Mostly because of the difficulty of controlling the meeting and having too many people on video at the same time.
Okay, so we're setting a precedent here. Does that mean then we will allow, because I know Linda would like to come on video. Does that mean she's invited to come on?
I have been on video for the last probably 5 meetings.
We
This is
haven't
Sarah
seen
Teal.
Yeah, but we haven't seen
We
you.
haven't seen you.
Yes, I'm watching you on video and I do not have my video turned on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I have been zooming into these meetings for a handful of times already.
Okay. So, okay. I didn't realize that that's what was going on, where you were just choosing not to turn your video on. I thought you were just calling in. And I think, Louis, that's where the confusion is coming
Yeah,
from.
because I've seen Sarah Teely's time, but she had her video off. So then, Bill, let me understand correctly. As a general practice, unless we feel like there's too many people coming on, at some point we can decide that we can anyone from the public can come in on video, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have another caller on 608-692-3968. Did you identify yourself?
Yes, this is Megan Dudo.
Hey, Megan.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going, Jimmy, you're prepared to be my timekeeper tonight?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And David Flores, did you want to make a public comment tonight?
No, ma'am, I'm just here to listen.
Okay. And did you want to speak to any of the agenda items?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And Linda, did you want to make a public comment tonight?
I do.
And which agenda items did you want to speak to?
Number 4, number 7, and number 8.
Okay. And Beth Jones, did you want to make a public comment tonight?
Is she on?
I thought she was.
She was. It looks like she dropped off.
Okay. Sarah Teal, did you want to make a public comment tonight?
I do, and I would also like to speak to agenda item number 8 and agenda item number 9.
Okay. And Megan Dudo, did you want to make a public comment tonight?
No, not tonight, just listening, Catherine.
Okay, so no comments on the any of the agenda items?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with Linda Flores, and Linda, you have 2 minutes.
That's Linda Fobb.
I'm sorry. Linda Fobb, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Tell me when you're ready.
Say go, Jimmy. You're in time of the
Go.
program. Yeah.
Go ahead.
4 months ago, Board President Catherine Franke used a public meeting in the color of her office to put forward a 9-minute disparaging comment into the record. In this comment, she threatened to interfere in a general election in a display of retaliation against me, Sarah Teal, and David Flores if any of us chose to run for a MUD director position. True to her word, Catherine, with the assistance of Jenna, began their election interference by deleting the announcement of my run for a MUD director position from the Neighborhoods Next Door website. It has also come to my attention that Sage Management, a contractor paid with public funds, has been approaching neighbors that they have previously had deed-related interactions with to campaign for Megan Dudo and ask if they can place her signs in their yard. It is unclear if they were being paid by the district when they were doing this, but it is a very questionable practice and has the appearance of additional election interference. I mention this because no one on this board has stepped up to take action in this situation to date or intervened in the multiple other instances where Louis Zerbagon has made defamatory remarks and threats against me personally. All of these actions serve to undermine democracy and deserve to be called to account by any person who believes in full and fair elections. I wholeheartedly believe in democracy, and in effort to bring these beliefs to life in our neighborhood, I've applied for a place on the November ballot as a MUD board director. I want to bring honesty, integrity, and equitable treatment to every resident. I have 30+ years of experience in public service, and I know exactly what measures need to be taken in order to fix the problems that obviously exist. If you are a MUD resident who would like to know more details about how I plan to make positive changes in our neighborhood, you can visit my website at Facebook at Linda Fobb for WTC1 or your voice, WTCMUD1.org.
Time.
Okay, Linda, agenda item 4.
Tonight, you will vote to amend the emergency order to allow the board to disconnect water service when an account is delinquent and when the usage by a customer indicates an apparent leak on the customer's side of the meter. A review of last month's general meeting video reveals there is only one family that has this problem. This family apparently doesn't have money to pay their water bill, now in excess of $2,000, and obviously can't afford a plumber to fix the probable leak in their system that is fueling this quickly rising bill. I would suggest that rather than move to shut off their water, that a more compassionate solution would be to hire a plumber, have the leak fixed, and add the cost to the existing bill and work out a payment plan with this family. This solution would give a struggling family a leg up and stop the hemorrhaging of water and the steeply growing water bill. If this family can't pay their water bill, then it is unlikely they have the funds to hire a plumber to fix the leak. If you have any doubts that a kinder solution will work, include a lien on the property as part of the repayment plan. That would guarantee that the district gets the money for the repair and the delinquent water bill in the end. If this family is struggling, turning off their water could force them out of their home, since they probably wouldn't have additional money to pay the exorbitant fees contained in the amended rate order you're voting to approve tonight just to have their water turned back on. Humanity wins with a simple act of compassion.
Oh my God, you're the fucking.
Okay, agenda item 7.
Pending open records. I can't talk, Catherine, if there's people in the background making noise.
Yeah, if you're not talking, could everybody please mute?
Thank you, I appreciate that. Let's start over.
Yes, I agree. Let's start over.
Hearing dogs barking and all kinds of noise in the background.
Yeah, it's my dog, sorry.
That's okay. Ready? Jimmy,
Start.
Are you ready?
Yep. Start.
That's okay. I believe the sitting members of this board have failed their fiduciary duties by allowing Catherine and Louis in their positions on the Information Committee to withhold public records and incur legal fees upwards of $200,000 in order to do so. Unfortunately, the members of this board have made no public attempt to rein in this over-the-top legal spending. I will reiterate that the cost to gather electronic records that already exist and release them is negligible. The cost incurred by this board in account 7310, open records expense, are legal fees paid to Bob Heath and Bill Flickinger to delay or deny the release of the public's records. The invoices from these law firms related to open records requests correlates directly to the amounts reported inside of public meetings. Art and Jana, you are the billing and invoice committee, the public's internal controls. If I sat on the board, I would endeavor to make transparency a top priority so that open records could be put to bed as a non-issue. I'm ready for number 8.
Okay,
Catherine?
thanks.
Catherine? Catherine?
Catherine, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking on mute.
That's all right.
Go ahead, number 8.
Here we go. This agenda item relates to the cause of action my husband and I have brought against the MUD Board and the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association. I have asked Bill Flickinger to include a copy of the cause of action in the handouts published on the MUD's website in the interest of full transparency. I feel it's important that every resident see that we are asking a judge to protect the property rights of all residents in the MUD district from the overreach of the MUD board. We are seeking to protect every property owner in Anderson Mill West from being forced to abide by rulings and interpretations of a voluntary neighborhood association, that this MUD board has stood up to exert power over properties when the MUD board itself is constrained from doing so. We are asking a judge to decide whether or not the MUD district has the authority to give themselves more power and amend our deed using district rules. And as importantly, do they now or did they ever have the statutory right to cede power and authority to their very own voluntary neighborhood association, including the fabrication of an ACC? This MUD board and the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association have been given many, many opportunities to do the right thing, the honest thing, the law-abiding thing, and they have refused to do so at every turn. Now it is time for the courts to decide what property rights we get to claim as property owners. Thank you, Catherine, for your time.
Okay. Sarah Teal, you have a public comment.
I do. I see that agenda item number 8 pertains to Matt and Linda Fobb's suit that has been brought against the MUD District and the Voluntary Neighborhood Association to stand up for neighbors' property rights. I do hope the MUD publishes this suit so that all neighbors may have a clear understanding of its contents. It is published on the community forum for WTCMUD1 on Facebook for anyone listening who is interested in its contents. As a person who lives in this neighborhood, I would like to extend my utmost gratitude to Matt and Linda for being willing to personally shoulder the financial burden of this suit to secure my family's property rights. It is my belief that the majority of neighbors do not understand what the lawsuit pertains to, so I'd like to break it down to the simplest of terms. Matt and Linda are asking a judge to look at how the MUD is enforcing deed restriction, whether the MUD should be allowed to use district rules to grant oversight power of our properties to the Voluntary Neighborhood Association, and whether the Voluntary Neighborhood Association and the ACC under their umbrella should be interpreting our deed and making decisions about improvement construction.
Okay, agenda item 8.
I would like to point out that when these questions regarding authority came up in the past, which formed the bulk of Matt and Linda's suit in agenda item 8, that there was a loud cry from the MUD and the Voluntary Neighborhood Association, particularly the then president, Megan Dudo, that the ACC must be in place to tell neighbors how to live on their property and build. Otherwise, there would be anarchy in our neighborhood. This is a false narrative. I believe it was broadcast in an effort to escape being held accountable for the blatant authoritarianism that has been wielded over the tiniest details of neighbors' property. This anarchy narrative also served to make neighbors feel fearful of any change in the existing system, for fear that chaos would rule in the absence of a strong hand of the MUD and the AMWNA. This narrative couldn't be farther from the truth. The fact is that whether the MUD board uses the water code as a means to deed enforcement, or whether the ACC or members of the neighborhood association pre-approved improvements and came up with new unsightly interpretations, our deed still stands. Getting rid of the MUD, ACC, and AMWNA oversight of our properties does not dispense with the deed. The deed is what we signed when we bought our home and is the legal and social contract we each agreed to. All of the oversight of the MUD board, the Voluntary Neighborhood Association, and the Architectural Control Committee could completely stop today, and each neighbor would still be held accountable for following the stipulations of that deed. Each deed has provisions written inside of it that allow for its enforcement by the other neighbors who also agreed to live by that concrete document. There are MUDs all over the state of Texas that do not participate in deed enforcement activities. It is actually pretty simple. You read your deed and you follow it. If you don't, then any other neighbor in your section has the legal right to take you to small claims court, which does not require a lawyer, but rather a $125 fee and electronically submitted explanation for enforcement.
Time. Okay, and I think you have agenda item 9.
It appears that 45 minutes prior to this meeting that the attachment for this item was changed, substantially shifting what will be discussed under this agenda item. I believe that this is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. This last-minute adoption spells out how the same firm that is representing the MUD will also be representing the Voluntary Neighborhood Association, known as AMWNA. My question as a MUD constituent is, how many of my tax dollars will be spent to legally prop up a voluntary association that isn't even a part of my deed? It's interesting that the letter was addressed to Ms. Frankie and Ms. Jones, as Catherine Frankie appears to be the person ultimately responsible, as she is the president of the MUD, the signatory that created the Voluntary Neighborhood Association through the Secretary of State office, and one of 2 people who serve on the ACC. It seems more appropriate for the letter to say to Ms. Frankie, and Ms. Frankie. If this conflict of interest is not totally apparent by this time, you may be choosing to be willfully ignorant. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, at this time, I'm now going to close the,
Catherine,
yeah?
Catherine, excuse me, Beth Jones did rejoin the meeting. You may want to ask her if she has.
Oh, okay. Beth, did you want to make a public comment or a comment about the, any agenda item?
I do not.
Okay. Okay, so at this time, I am going to close the public comments public comment section portion of our meeting, and I believe we are going directly into executive session.
Catherine?
Yeah?
I'd prefer to go ahead and knock out the easy ones. We have Michael Willett is on the line. We could address his item and some of these more simple ones.
Oh, okay, okay.
If that's okay, if we could just go right to 2. I think some of these we can handle very quickly.
Okay, so, okay, you want to do amended order calling for the director's election.
Correct.
And, okay.
So this is a relatively simple amendment to the order calling election. There were 2 changes since we adopted the order. First, the governor has extended early voting to start on October 13. So the red line indicates that change. Because our order calling election is pretty comprehensive, we have 2 counties and a lot of procedures. We had the actual early voting dates in there, so I have changed them to what the governor approved. And the Secretary of State has approved alternate filing acceptance. You can accept a application for a place on the ballot now by email, which was not permitted previously, so I've included that in the order. Those are the only 2 changes, and so
Okay.
I'd be looking for a motion to approve and also authorizing attachment of the exhibits when they're ready.
Okay, does somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so do we have any more discussion? Do we need any more clarification from Bill as to what's happening? Basically, if we don't do this, we don't get our election when we need an election, so.
Right.
Okay.
I do have one question for Bill, if he can tell us right now. Can you tell us who's on the ballot right now? I mean, who is done? I mean, if you guys, you know, it's public record now, so can you tell us who has put in their application?
Of course I can. So we have 4 persons have filed an application with our office and has been accepted. Linda Fobb has filed, as she stated. David Flores has filed. Jana, you have filed. And also Megan Dudo has filed. We have 4 candidates for 2 positions at the moment. The deadline is August 17th, 5 p.m., which is a week from Monday. And after that, then we'll know who our candidates are.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. If there isn't any more discussion, I'm going to go ahead and call the vote. So you guys are going to need to unmute. So, Jana.
Yes.
Louis.
Yes.
Art.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
And I vote yes too. Okay, that one's done. And then, okay, agenda item number 3 is contract for services by Touchstone.
Yeah, so the document that you have is an amendment, and Michael Willett's on the line. He can, I'll just give a brief introduction. He can explain it further.
Okay.
And also if the board wants any updates on the work they're doing, we could do that as well. They've added a paragraph to their agreement, which addresses reimbursement for costs related to direct open records requests. We've had, in the recent past, we've had 2 direct open records requests, one to Sage Management to attempt to make them subject directly to the Open Records Act, and one to Infomark. And in our prior resolution, we encouraged contractors to add a provision to their contract for reimbursement of those costs. And that's what this, in my opinion, that's what this amendment does. Michael, did you have any comments you wanted to present to the board?
Not currently. I think you did a good job at outlining it. We just strictly wanted to keep the amendment to only address that item, and it does not address any other changes to the contract as it stands that we have with Williams-Travis County.
Okay. So we would need a motion to approve the amendment.
I so move.
Okay, so I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any more discussion? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the vote. Art,
Yes.
Jana,
Yes.
Louis,
Yes.
and Chris.
Yes.
And I vote yes too. Okay.
Michael and the committee, did you have anything else you wanted to discuss regarding the Touchstone work that's ongoing?
This is Michael with Touchstone. We're just about done with the question or with the work that has been given us. We're submitting another link for the 2 items updated to the committee. We should have had that today, but I think with ADWVD we got a little behind, so I will have that out to the committee on Monday. Jana, I wanted to address the emails sent. Yes, absolutely. The website will be reactive and responsive for all browsers and mobile devices. It'll be mobile optimized. I didn't get a chance to address those via email today. But we have no action items, obviously, and we're not on the agenda to pass any action items. So if you have any further questions for Touchstone, we'll field them. But I think we're good to go, and the committee has been very helpful so far.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay.
Right.
Agenda item 4, amended temporary emergency order delegating authority. Okay.
So the red line in the packet only changes section 3. And Catherine, you're aware of it, and the Infomark people are aware of it. We do have a situation where one customer is using excessive amount of water. It does appear they have some sort of leak. I know that multiple attempts have been made to contact the owner to attempt to address it. And you and I, Catherine, we discussed whether under the current moratorium, this customer could be terminated for non-payment and also for the leak. So this amendment to the emergency order would give Catherine the authorization to address these types of situations. As the pandemic continues, and if we continue our moratorium, there are going to be more customers with higher balances, and there's a big difference between just not paying your regular usage bill, because that's a smaller amount, than to having a huge leak that you're not paying either. So that's what this amendment does.
Okay, so does anybody have any comments that they want to make about this?
Yeah, I'd like to hear from, I think we have some of the Infomark people online, and I believe that contrary to some of the allegations made by some of the public comments, can the Infomark people discuss what we've done, or perhaps Jimmy Sagnas, relative to trying to contact these people and our inability to do so? Jimmy, Christy, Mackenzie? Hello?
They're on mute.
Louis, can you restate what you were asking me, please?
Yeah, with respect to this order change, it relates to a particular case where we have excessive uses and a possible leak. And I know we've gone round and round internally trying to work with those people to find out what's going on or get them to find out. And there were some allegations made in the public comments provision that suggested otherwise. And so I thought it might be appropriate to describe the measures we've taken trying to get in touch with these people, trying to work with them, trying to get something done.
So I can do that for you guys. I'm sorry, my headphones were not plugged in all the way. I was trying to speak and y'all obviously could not hear me. Can y'all hear me okay now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Infomark has been the front runner on this one. We had a customer come up and we did a delinquent check just to see where we were sitting sometime around the last board meeting with regards to customers that do have bills over $400, I believe around $487, anything over that we wanted to look into and just kind of see how they had been adjusting their usage, if they were using more water or less. This particular customer, during our search, it was identified that their water had their amount of water used had nearly doubled. And actually it had doubled and now has gone above doubling. So with that being said, we have made numerous attempts at hanging door tags. We have done this twice and we can confirm that they have gotten the door tags because they have no longer been there when we have gone back. We have also tried to call them on the numbers that we have on the account. One number has been disabled and the other, I believe, does not go through. And then we have also sent multiple emails as well, asking them to reach out to us to allow us to help them set them up on a payment plan. Alongside of all of that, we also performed a leak check, which, yes, it happens during the day. And if you run an irrigation system at night and there's a leak with your irrigation system, it will not identify that. But we did run the leak check in the middle of the day and no leak was detected during the day when we did go out. But still to this moment, we have not heard back from this customer. They have not made a payment since December of last year. We've made numerous attempts to contact them and we are not getting through.
Right. And so I think what we're really sort of at the end of our rope, we do not have any other alternative to get them to, come talk to us, because that's really what we're trying to do is, get their attention that we need to figure out what is causing their high usage that was at 20,000 gallons a month now is over 40,000 gallons a month. And we need to stop the loss of water. That's really where the reason for this change in the change in the rate order. And contrary to what was said in public comments, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, but we cannot put a lien on somebody's house for unpaid water bills, can we?
No, we cannot. And the suggestion was, I believe, that we hire a plumber to fix the leak and then add it to the bill and then if we need to have a lien. We can't get a lien in that manner. The only way we can get a lien on property is to get a judgment, and it does not attach to homestead. And of course, in this case, if it's a renter, that doesn't attach, to anything. However, and the other important thing is we do not have the authority to hire a plumber to go on their property without their permission. This leak could well be in the irrigation system where if that's where the leak is, they could just turn it off or valve it off and probably solve the problem for now. If it's internal to their house or some other device, we don't have the right to go in there and fix it.
So what I'm
Has
saying
anybody gone to their door? Sorry, Lois. Has anybody gone to their door and knocked on it? I mean, I know it's COVID time and all that, but has anybody gone to their door and knocked on it to
Specifically for that reason, Infomark has not gone and contacted them. What I can tell you though is when we hung the door tag the first time that we went out to do the leak check to let them know that we were doing a leak check due to the high water usage, we never heard from them then. The second time that we went out to hang a separate door tag, the old door tag was no longer there. And Cody did note, your maintenance tech, that the things on the porch had been moved around as if somebody had been there. And there was a bunch of kids' scooters and bikes. When he hung the second tag, I specifically made him put my card in that tag, and on the red tag, we asked them to please call us as soon as possible, and still have not heard from them. And he did go back after that to ensure that they got that tag, and that tag has also been removed.
So they're pretty much just ignoring the tag.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're ignoring us. Yeah.
And as we've stated, we also sent 2 emails, one initial and a follow-up, and have not heard anything, and that is to the email on the account. And we have called both numbers that we have available to us on their account and still have not been able to make contact.
Well, I'm glad that you you left your, business card there so they could call you, and all that, that's perfect.
So let's look at that in contrast to the allegations made. Linda Fobb wove a tale of woe. People who can't afford to live, they can't afford to put food on their table. How can they afford to pay the water bill? And we're taking advantage of them. We can't reach those people. We haven't been able to reach those people. I suspect Linda Favre hasn't been able to reach them either. So what I think we're seeing here is a tale that is part of her campaign that doesn't have any bearing on reality. So let's do what we have to do, but let's make it clear to those who might be seeing this video that our objective is to meet with these people and work out the problem. And we haven't been able to do that. And as long as we can't do that, we have to resort to other measures to get their attention.
Well said, Louis. Well said.
Sage,
Okay.
Sage Management is doing very much the same thing as Infomark. If I see vehicles there that I know the folks are there, when I knock at the door, I back off substantially from the door, usually 10 to 15 feet. Are there places where I know I'm not welcome? Yes. Some of them are in the audience. I don't even go to those properties. I'll stay with the letters. But even in the letters we do send out, we've made numerous attempts to personalize them. We'll put a small sticky note in. Diana's handwriting is much better than mine. She'll just write in there, please call us. The legalese that we are required to put into these letters scares people. And when we personalize the note, time and time again, we find people are saying thank you. And once they reach out, once we can email them or talk to them via phone, they're much more receptive to understand where we're trying to go with this. We aren't trying, the board has never made it a point of making money off of fines. They just want to find creative ways to get corrective action. They want responses from it. And we are, even today, we are working on all of those processes. I will talk to neighbors. I will talk to anyone I need to try to find out when these folks are at home and then try to find a friendly way to go and talk to them. Even as surprising as it may be to some people, some folks are out at night. They're night folks. Last night was a night tour, and I was visiting with people last night. And Catherine, you were with me on one of those tours. It's amazing how people can be comfortable at night. You just got to feel your way around and find their comfort zone and work with them. And they are happy with that. They are very happy that the board is reaching out and trying to find alternative ways to communicate. And I have heard dozens and dozens, and so has Diana, of thank yous that we don't report about, and we ask them to, but a lot of people are busy. They just don't take the time to do that. There are lots of people really happy that we are taking the approach we are, and they are thankful the board is trying to be understanding under these times that no one has ever seen before. This is unprecedented.
Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, I need a motion to for the resolution.
I so move.
Okay, and I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, do we have any more discussion that we want? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the vote. Louis?
Yes.
Jana?
Jana, you're muted.
she gave me a thumbs up. I'm going to take it. Art?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And I vote yes too. Okay. Okay. Agenda item 6.
Well, we have, Catherine, we have agenda item 5 is the moratorium.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I put that on there. Right now we have a moratorium against disconnects for non-payment. Now that we approve the amended temporary order, it does give you some authority beyond the general moratorium. Now we have that. So
Okay.
I didn't know if any other discussion regarding the moratorium was warranted at this time, but that's why I put it on.
Okay. Okay. So the moratorium. Somebody shut my door. Thank you. I didn't have anything to discuss about that. Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to discuss about that? Because basically our moratorium is still in place. but we've just made an adjustment to the special powers relating to dealing with this one unique situation that we have.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like people that are like under duress right now, and they let Infomark know what's going on. I don't see any reason why anything should happen as far as like they should still be red tagged but not shut off, of course. But
Well, I guess I'm just going to keep repeating myself. Talk
yes,
to
please
us.
do.
Talk to us. That's all you got to do. Whether we're talking, DRC issues, or if you got payment issues, just talk to us. Don't ignore us, because that's when things become frustrating on our end. Okay, so are we ready to move on to the rate order?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, agenda item 6, the rate order.
Okay, so the reason we put this on, and we may not be approving the changes tonight, it'll be up to the board, but the best way to protect the district from a really high bill where the owner or the tenant, more likely a tenant, doesn't pay is your deposit. And your deposits are relatively low. We do have a current mechanism. They're disconnected, that an additional 150 is added, and then we had a maximum of $600 per account. We're in a moratorium now where a lot of the accounts are growing, the past dues are growing, so it's a little more important. So what I did is I went into the rate order on page 5, and I altered the security deposits as a kind of an example of what you could do. If we determine that historically we've had more problems with renters than homeowners on paying their accounts and leaving accounts unpaid, then we have the ability to have a separate amount for renters. And we've had a historical problem with some of the fourplexes in the district. These fourplexes have 1 meter for multiple units, and at least one of the landlords has been repeatedly delinquent in paying, which forces us to cut off water to all the residents. And so for multifamily residential served by 1 meter, you could have a different deposit. Now these won't apply until they, have a new service application or they get disconnected. But what I wrote up was a relatively aggressive new deposit policy and amounts. And so I wanted to lay that out for you because we're entering this period of time where it may be more important. And this is one of the ways we can protect the district from loss of revenue.
Okay, so I'm looking at number 4, where you're talking about the security deposits are organized by meter size. So I don't know what my meter size is. I'm just in a single family home, which the most of us are. So what am I in?
You'll likely be 5/8.
Okay.
Residential meters are in any district are 5/8 3/4 unless you requested a large meter for irrigation. Mackenzie or Christy might know in your district, but I think they're probably virtually all 5/8 meters.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, so then I'm a little confused. I'm looking at it. I've got 5/8, 3/4, and then it goes $150, and I'm assuming that actually belongs someplace else.
Just ignore that. That's a stray 150. That is going to be a deletion.
Okay. Well, does it go with the previous line? Is that where it goes, or is it just needs to be struck out?
It would have gone with the 3/4. It slipped out of the 3/4, but it would be deleted.
Okay. So I talked about this a couple of meetings ago, and I want to thank Bill for following up, because we've had a number of different conversations about some of the issues that we've had. I was really concerned about the whole issue with the fourplexes, because that has been a problem. I'm not going to say that we should adopt this tonight, but I think that we need to put this on the agenda for next month when we're adopting our final rate order. And the reason, and I'm saying that because I want to make sure that the rest of the board has an opportunity to really review the details of what we're talking about. And in the end, the way I'm sort of looking at it is, you pay your bill every month, and your deposit's gonna continue to stay low. It's really only when we're starting to have problems with delinquencies. Does anybody have any thing to add? Bill, Louis, you're talking on mute.
Yeah, if we're not going to take action on this one, then we can just move on, right?
Okay.
Right.
I wasn't going to ask for a call for a vote, but I really feel that this is something that we need to seriously consider and make it part of the adoption of our final rate order in the next board meeting. So make sure it's on the next agenda item then, Bill.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's always on the regular agenda.
Okay. Okay, and did anybody else have anything else that they wanted to talk about as it relates to this agenda item? Okay. Agenda item 7, pending.
So, okay, Catherine.
Okay.
So this is the point where I'll suggest we go into executive session.
Oh, okay.
Now, because we need to go in executive session for 7, 8, and 9.
Okay.
You should have, do you have the announcement?
Yep, I've got it right here.
Don't read it yet, because I want to explain what we're going to do. We have not gone into executive session since March, when we had actual in-person meetings. So this will be the first time. And hopefully the technology will live up to what I'm planning to do. As far as the residents on this meeting, or any other person that wishes to stay on this meeting will not be ended at this time. We are going to have the directors and Robert Heath that's going to leave this meeting for executive session. I will send all the directors and Bob an email invite to go to the executive session as soon as I get over to the other desk here. So you're going to get another meeting with different codes. It's going to be the executive session. After the executive session, you're going to need to come back to this meeting. So if you have any hiccups or anything, you need to call me and we'll guide you through it. And like I said, anyone that wants to, perfectly welcome to stay on this meeting until we come back into open session. We will be coming back after the closed session. I just can't tell you exactly when. And Jimmy, there's no need for you to wait for that. And I don't think any of the Infomark people need to wait. Lee, what I can do is fill you in on whatever action was taken at the end of the meeting, so you can fill in the minutes. And of course, Michael Willett, you don't have any reason to come back, because we won't be considering your item. And so with that explanation, Catherine, why don't you go ahead and read the announcement for items 7, 8, and 9.
Okay. Okay, and just before I do that, I just want to seek clarification. The board members need to actually physically leave this Zoom meeting and start another one, and then we will come back, re-enter this room again, so to speak.
Correct.
Okay.
Make sure that you're leaving this meeting. It's not really physically, but yes,
right.
electronically.
Yes.
Leave this meeting and then enter the other one, and then you'll need to come back after.
Okay, here we go. The Board of Directors will now go into closed session for consultation with the district attorneys pursuant to section 551.071 of the Attorney's Government Code regarding agenda items 7, 8, and 9. No action can be taken during the closed session.
All right, be looking for the email invite.
Okay, see you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, everyone. I'll be dropping off. This is Michael from Touchstone.
Thanks, Michael.
So we're all leaving this meeting, right?
Correct, Art. Y'all will need to leave the meeting
Okay.
entirely and join
Bye.
another. Bye.
Bye.
Just went to read. Okay, it just went to a red screen, so Bill shut it down.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, for the residents that are still on the line, the board is now coming back. It'll take a minute or so for us to come back, and then we'll go back into open session. Catherine, do you have the announcement?
Yeah, let me get it back up on my other computer.
Don't read it yet. I'll have to start the recording.
I have to find it. There we go.
All right, let's make sure we got all the directors back first. We're still waiting. Hi, Jimmy. Chris, is that you?
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're all here.
Okay, wait a second.
Who am I waiting on?
Waiting on me because I have to start the recording.
Oh, okay.
So we have Chris, Art, Lewis, Catherine, Jana. Okay, so let's start the recording.
Okay.
All right.
There it is. I see it. Okay. The Board of Directors has concluded its closed session and is returning to the open meeting. No action was taken during the closed session.
Okay, so we need to go to item 9.
Okay. And item 9, just trying to get my, I think this is it, agenda only. Okay, the engagement, agenda item 9, engagement of McGinnis Lockridge as special counsel for litigation.
Catherine, I'd like to move that so that we can discuss. I'd like to move that the board adopt the engagement letter that provides for dual representation, which we have before us.
Okay, could I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, let's go ahead and discuss that. What else? Was there anything that we wanted to discuss about that before we vote?
Chris, did you have anything?
Well, we're voting for 2 letters, right? 2 engagement letters, correct? Or just one?
There are 2 engagement letters. One of them is to the MUD, and the other is to both the MUD and to the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And that's the one you're proposing.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're proposing to seek the dual engagement representation.
Okay.
I think they refer to it as joint engagement agreement.
Okay.
And I'd like to point out that under the provisions of the engagement letter, if there appear any conflicts between the parties, the attorney has the authority to decide to represent only the MUD and not the neighborhood association, and the neighborhood association agrees to abide by those provisions.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, so do we have anything else that we want to discuss?
Not me.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and call the vote then. Lewis,
Yes.
Art,
Yes.
Jana,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
And I vote yes too. Somebody
My
else
dog
said there
votes
too.
yes.
Okay. Okay, so agenda item 10, adjournment. I need somebody to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make it.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second. I'll
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. Hey, I'm off to Minnesota and I'm going to be off grid. So,
All
Okay.
right.
Have a good trip.
yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going to Minnesota.
Have fun.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Safe trip.
Okay.
You too.
Good night.